What's up? Yo. It's your boy, Pastor Ron. I'm here back with you today on the Realness with Pastor Ron podcast. I thank you for joining us. I thank you for being here. I thank you for your time. It's been a little while. What's been going on? I've been sick. Me and my entire family's had the flu. So we were battling that for a couple weeks. It's crazy. It's crazy out here nowadays because COVID is circling the block. It's flu season. You got this RSV out here and people are getting knocked down. Like everyone that I speak to, they're like they've been sick for a while or have a cold and, man down. So it's kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, we're feeling better. We're believing we're not accepting this COVID pandemic all over again. I just think COVID's going to be part of our lives. It's just something that's going to circle back like every year. Just like the flu, et cetera, et cetera. So I pray you guys are doing well. I pray you guys are in good health. I know a lot of people are sick and have been affected, but I hope you guys are doing okay as we navigate this triple, pandemic they call season, these triplets that they say. So let's not hope for any new mask mandates or anything to go on. That everyone takes care of themselves, be safe and be wise to make sure you're in good health. And also, so that's kind of the reason why I've been away. I did not think you guys want to hear a podcast of me coughing on the mic the entire time. So I decided just to take a break and to make sure I get better and my family's better before I log back on, man. So I appreciate you guys. I thank you guys, man, for tuning back in. It's 2022 is almost done. We're about to enter into a new year, Lord willing. And, I'm excited. I know God has things in store for me. I know God has things in store for you. So you should be planning for your 2023 now. So you make sure when the new year comes in, you're going off and running. But today, I'm not talking about New Year or the flu. I want to use this moment to talk about something that I think is very valuable for everyone. And it's something I had to learn in my life. And that's the value of boundaries. The value of boundaries. Boundaries is something that people don't like to create. Boundaries is something that people don't want to develop. They want to allow just free reign and free access into our lives and feel like we're a bad person if we develop boundaries, if we say, no, you cannot come here, or no, I cannot be there for you. But I think boundaries are your friend. Boundaries are something that God has created in order to protect you. In the book of Proverbs, the word of God says this: guard your heart. So that guard, the word guard, is like having a security guard. It's having like some form of protection or something around your heart in order to protect it. That's a form of boundary. And what I like to always emphasize is that the Bible does not say God will guide your heart. It's you understood. You guard your heart. It is your responsibility to develop boundaries, to develop certain fences or certain parameters in place to protect your heart. And a lot of the time, the reason why we're battling so much hurt and pain and trauma is because we don't like boundaries. We don't like to sit here and say, I can't go there. I can't be your friend. Where I'm going, you can't go there. Boundaries are your friend. It is not a bad thing for you to sit here and say, you know what, I need to protect and create a hedge around my family, around my mind, around my heart. It's your responsibility to protect yourself. It's your responsibility to develop the necessary things in order to protect your peace. Guard your peace, guard your joy, guard your home, cover your children, develop boundaries. Stop letting random people, and when I say random, if I met someone 6 weeks ago, we're not best friends. You're cool. I may want to develop a friendship with you, but just because I met you 6 weeks ago and we have the same horoscope sign does not mean that you should be all up in my crib. Because that's the same person that will sit there and talk about you and gossip about you and sit there and say all these things. You have to learn the importance of developing boundaries. You have to learn the value and why it's necessary for us to be at a place where we create boundaries. So one of the things I love to say, and I love to tell my church and tell people, whatever, is that the most important thing that you can say is no. Like, the word no is your friend. And it's okay to tell people no. One of the things that we've experiencing a lot in this time is burnout, where people are just overextending themselves and overcommitting themselves. And partially, the reason why a lot of people are doing that, are experiencing that, is a lack of boundaries, a lack of saying no. I can't go to your baby shower. Just send me your address. I will send you a gift. I can't go to your child's party. I can't go to your event. I need to learn a level of no and saying, you know what? I can't do it. I need to take time out for myself. And that don't make you a bad person. Mom, I can't take you to the supermarket every single Saturday. I need Saturdays for me to unwind. I can't run errands with you. It don't make you a bad person. Because at the end of the day, the reason why this is important to create boundaries is because boundaries will allow you to take care of yourself. Boundaries allow you, as a sense, to protect yourself. And this narrative and this teaching that in order for you to be the best Christian or the best person, you must kill yourself for people. I don't believe in killing myself for people. I don't believe in driving myself into the ground and doing all this extracurricular nonsense for people. Because end of the day, if I'm not the best Ron, then I can't be the best dad. I can't be the best husband. I can't be the best pastor. I can't be the best friend. So I think it's important that we understand the value of saying no. Create that boundary. Say, you know what? This Saturday, I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to cook. I'm just going to sit there and watch Netflix. I'm going to sit there and do whatever, play video games. Whatever it takes, you have to learn to create boundaries. Stop allowing people to abuse you in the name of love. Well, it's okay, that's my mom. It's okay, that's my dad. It's okay, that's my child. Don't allow folks to abuse you. Like, we have this misconception that abuse equals love. No, abuse does not equal love. It don't. Just because I love you, don't mean you have the right to abuse me or take advantage of me. Abuse requires sacrifice. Abuse requires, sometimes I don't want to do something and I'm going to do it for you. But the abuse does not mean that, love does not mean, love means sacrifice. Love does not mean abuse. And just because I love you, just because I care about you, does not mean I have to give you permission to abuse me. Love does involve sacrifice. Love does involve me getting to a place where it's saying, I don't feel like doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I don't feel like going here, but because it's my child's recital, I'm going to go. I'm tired, but I'm going to go. That's understandable. I understand sacrifice. I understand going the extra mile. But a consistent level of abuse that we are experiencing in our lives in the name of love is not wise. Is not, because it does not protect you. Let me tell you a secret, bro. People will take advantage of you as long as you let them. If they can sit there and have you every single Sunday, they will take advantage of you every single Sunday. If they could sit here and drive you to the ground, they will drive you to the ground, cry at your funeral, and they will move on. So we need to take ownership of our time, of ourselves. This is why it's important to say no. It's not saying I don't like you, I won't be here for you the next time, but at this time, I'm tired. I cannot be there for you. I cannot run to your emergency. I cannot run to your situation every single time. No, I need to choose me. And don't you ever feel guilty in choosing yourself. Don't you ever feel guilty in making sure that you're taking care of yourself, because you are your responsibility. No one would ever sit here and be like, I feel bad. I called Ron too much. Let me try to figure things out on my own. No, they're gonna keep calling you every single time. So it's up to you to get to a place and develop that boundary and be like, yo, I'm not answering that phone call. I know every time she calls me, it's something for me to help her out. I cannot answer that phone call. DND, do not disturb, is your best friend. You must weekly, if not daily, get into DND mode and say, no, I can't. I love you, but I can't help you out. Can I tell you a secret though? You sit there and you don't help them out, they will figure things out. Trust me. As much as they say it's life or death, they will not die if you don't come through. And me personally, and I love tough love. Me personally, I really believe, like, let them fail. Let them figure it out. Because that helps them out in the long run. Let them sit here and say, all right, bet I'm gonna Ron's not answering, let me figure this out. To me, that's more beneficial than me constantly bailing you out. So my word of advice is to learn to develop boundaries, because people will suck you dry as long as you let them, and people will not develop boundaries for you. The only time they will develop boundaries for you is to protect their spot in your life. They will get mad. Oh my God, why is she always calling you? Why is he always at your house? Oh my God, I don't trust him. Hey, you leave my friend alone. And the only reason why they're doing that is because they want to make sure that they have you available to them. So we have to create these boundaries. We have to be able to say no to certain situations. My healthcare workers, all of my workers, it's okay to turn down shifts. It's okay to turn down money. Oh my God, Pastor Ryan, I gotta pay my bills. Listen, the bills are gonna be there. One of my good friends told me, he's like, he's always traveling to like football games and stuff. Like, he's constantly out. He's like, you know what? I want to enjoy my life because the bills are always gonna be there, which is facts. Like, we're gonna sit here and drive yourself to the ground for a company for an extra shift where they tax the money out. So all you're bringing home for that extra shift is like $150 anyway. Doing all that, and you forget about your family. You forget about yourself. Like, you know what? Stop working yourself into the ground. We sit here and work for companies that will replace us in a minute. Trust me, these companies will turn around and say, you know what? Dang, I hate that you're gone. HR posted Indeed ad for her position. So why drop yourself into a company that don't care about you? You're an asset. You're a mule. You're a cow, a horse. You're something they use to get a means, to get something out of. They don't really care about you. I don't care how many holiday parties or how many times they buy lunch for you. They don't care about you. They care about that bottom line. So low key, they would love for you to walk away, because if you walk away, they'll find a cheaper version of you. So why pay yourself for a job? I always say, slavery, salaries a new form of slavery. That we sit here and they put us on salary. Yeah, we won't put you on salary. We're hype. I'm on salary. I don't get paid per hour for peasants. But they put you on salary so they could work you 80 hours a week and still pay the same amount of money. So I think it's crucial that we learn to take our self-care days, our mental health days, that we get to the place where we, check out. Like one of the things that is a new phenomenon is working from home. And I always say working from home is dangerous because it allows us, it causes us to lose the boundaries between work and home. So then we're sitting on the couch at 10 p.m. doing nothing. No one's online to play pro clubs and play 2K or Call of Duty. So we're sitting here like, oh, okay, let me just hop and start on some work. So there's no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Now folks that work from home are constantly plugged into work because that work laptop is always there. So I want to make sure that we understand, like, you know what? Just chill. Don't kill yourself for no job. Yeah, the extra $150 is nice, and you could do what you want, but then at what expense? You won't enjoy that money, and I don't believe in working just to pay bills. If you have to work just to pay bills, then you need to revisit your finances. You're overextending yourself. If you have to work 90 hours a week just to pay your bills, then there's something bigger, which is the issue. So we have to be at a place where we understand that I'm not going to kill myself for a job. I'm not going to. I have so many people that I know personally, and that you see all across this country since the pandemic. People just walking away from jobs. They're walking away from great paying jobs. You know why? Because they realize that their peace and their joy is way more valuable than a paycheck. And anytime someone says that to me, that they're making that choice, I said, listen, God will always provide, and He does. That's over a year ago. It's like my birthday, 2021. I walked away from my job. They gave me an option. They gave me an ultimatum, and I said no. Ultimately, I want to choose my family and choose my peace, and I don't like what you're doing. So I said, I'm walking away. Period. Did I have anything backed up? No. Did I know what was next? No. But I definitely knew that spending time with my family, my kids who were younger at the time, I had a newborn baby at the time. Gianna was 8 months at the time. That was more valuable to me than that job. Have I found something permanent and well-paying since then? I would love to say I have, because you think that the story ends, hey, Pastor Ron does this and God opens the door. Nah, I'm still a year plus later trying to find something permanent, trying to find something long-term. But through it all, God has provided. We have never gone without. We have never gone a moment where God has not taken care of us. So I will never sit there and say, God failed me. Nah, it's just God has still provided, just in different ways. So, end of the day, I think we have to choose ourselves. And any person in your life that is mad at you for choosing you is not really a friend. I don't care if it's your mother. That person don't love you. We should encourage people to choose themselves. We should support our friends who are choosing self-care. If someone wants to sit here and say you're a bad person because, hey, I called you to take me to the mall and you were not there, then they're not a good friend. One thing I try my best to respect is people's boundaries. Ministry. As a pastor, you're constantly getting pulled in different directions. I try my best to respect boundaries. And in my church at RCOG, one of the things that I have emphasized is self-care. I said day one, I care more about the minister than the ministry. So I refuse to drive you into the ground and work, serve. And then end the day, you have nothing left for yourself or for your kids or for your family. So we try to develop a culture of balance where I, leave folks off a schedule. Where if folks say I need time away, say take time away. Folks that are in school, hey, Pastor Rod, I need a couple of months away to focus on school. That's cool. Never any resistance, because I think it's important to develop a culture of taking care of ourselves. Because a lot of times the culture that we are currently in is just dropping yourself to the ground. And many of us, we do it. You know why? Because we got to try to keep up with the Joneses. We got to be at the place to make sure I'm posting my car and my house on social media. This past summer, I posted something with first class. So I got to make sure that I'm always flying first class, because people are going to be looking to make sure you're doing well. You can't post one trip first class and then the next trip coach, because they will screenshot and they will send it into their group chats and basically say, look, this person is falling off. So a lot of times what we do, we sit here and we're caught up with different aspects of the culture, and we try to do that. But I want us to understand that the boundaries that we need are necessary. With people, with our friends, with our children, with our jobs. We need to develop boundaries. Learn, like, the most powerful, I'm going to say it again, the most powerful thing that you can say is no. And low key, the people who are the most, like, successful are the folks with the most discipline. Like, if you want, I can't be mad at someone who has a six pack because they said no to staying in the bed until 10 a.m. They say no to eating certain foods. They say no to drinking certain things. They say no to saying, I'm playing video games while you guys are working out. They have a form of discipline. And the most powerful thing that you can say to yourself is no. Because when you say no to yourself, you're saying yes to something greater. And we can't keep saying yes to everything, yes to certain foods, yes to certain people, yes to certain parties, but we never say no. And no is that boundary that God is calling us to get into. You have to say no to certain things. Spiritually, as a child of God, we can't go to every party. We can't go to everybody's house. We can't be in every situation. Like Haitians say, toute sauce. You can't be in everything. You have to say no to certain things. Because that no will propel you to something greater. Me saying no to fatty foods will propel me to a healthier lifestyle and a six pack. And for me to lose weight. But I can't say yes to everything and expect a level of greatness. You have to learn to say no. And that no is what allows you to develop a certain level of boundaries. Where I'm going, not everybody is entitled to go. And we're not beefing. It's just I understand that what I'm evolving into is not who you're evolving into, and who you are may be holding me back from where I want to go. So therefore, I have to learn to say no. No, I'm not going to answer your phone call. No, I'm not going to go to your house. No, I'm not going to be here to bail you out. No. Learn to say no. Because that no to extra sleep, no to eating certain things. No is your friend. And we have to get boundaries. We have to develop boundaries because I met you. I'm tired of people saying, I just met this person and they're all up in my crib. They know my cell phone password. They're around my kids. No, you got to get boundaries. The same level of cautiousness, if that's a word, that you have with a guy that you meet or a girl that you meet, have that same level of cautiousness with your friends. Like you sit there and you meet a guy and it's like 3 months, then finally he beats your parents. But you meet a person at the club last night and they're at your crib on your couch the next day. Like that level of, you have to develop that same level of cautiousness because that will protect you. We're very discerning when it comes to boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, but not discerning when it comes to our friendships. It's possible to get a friendship, a soul tie through a friend. Yeah. It's not just romantic relationships, but certain friendships were sent by the devil to hold you back. So we must pray for discernment when it comes to our friends. Not everybody that you meet should have access to your personal life. I always say this, and it's obviously a metaphor. But not everybody deserves to see you naked. Not everybody has the ability to handle you naked. Not everybody has the maturity or capacity to handle the real you. So you have to realize the importance and value of being discerning with your friends and the people you allow to have access to your life. You have to learn boundaries. You have to learn the power of saying no. You have to learn to say, you know what? It's your responsibility in 2023 to protect yourself. Stop expecting everybody to protect you. Oh God, when I get a husband, he will take care of me. No, you have to protect yourself now. It's your responsibility to protect yourself. It's your responsibility to guard your heart. It's not your pastor's. It's not your parents. It's not your girlfriend. It's not your kid's job. It is your job. Take responsibility for you. And one of the ways you take responsibility for you is to create boundaries. It's to get to a place where you sit here and say, you know what? I'm not going here. I'm not doing this. This is not for me. Every time I'm around this person, this drama, it's not for me. So I want us to understand the necessity and value of boundaries. Because if you do not create boundaries, if you don't learn to say no, 2023 will be just like 2022. I don't care how nice your vision board is. I don't care what meme or what GIF you put on your Twitter account. If you fail to create boundaries, you will constantly be at the same place that you're at. And I think it's time for us to grow. And one thing that creates growth is boundaries. Because we're complaining about the devil attacking our lives, but due to our lack of boundaries, we're giving him access to us. You see when the devil tried to get Job, the devil said, God, you created a hedge around Job so I couldn't access him. A hedge is a form of boundary. It protects what's inside of it and does not give the wrong person access to what's inside of the hedge. So it's time for you to create a hedge. God's trying to create a hedge, but you're just opening the door to let anybody in. I'm not saying don't make friends. I'm not saying constantly keep your guards up. I'm saying you gotta be more discerning. But the extreme is we constantly keep our guards up, right? And then when the right person comes, you miss out on them because you're so disguarded. So boundaries mean I need to be more discerning who I let in and out. Boundaries does not mean I shut everybody out. Boundaries mean I need to be more discerning in who I let in and let out. So I'm not a proponent. Like we live in an extreme type generation. So we have a large group of people that have no boundaries. Everybody's running in and out. We got also another group that have all their guards up and no one's getting in. And they're mad and they're lonely and they're by themselves. But God is fine. It's calling us to have boundaries, but also recognize that some people are allowed access to you because God is sending people to you because God's a God of relationship. So we have to learn the boundaries. We have to learn the importance of saying no. I cannot sit here and expect to lose weight if I'm saying yes to every meal that's put in front of me. I cannot expect to go higher and to elevate and to grow if I do not say no. So us saying no is crucial for us to be able to get at a place of learning growth, of experiencing a level of development. You see these guys playing ball? These guys, the reason why we can't be mad at these guys playing ball, the reason why they get what they get, because while we were out in the club, they were in the gym shooting J's. While we were out sitting there partying and messing around, they were sitting here practicing. Those who are nurses, those who are doctors, those who are successful professionals, while we were out there chilling and partying and doing all the nonsense, they were out here studying. They were home. They weren't in the club twerking. They weren't jumping like it's hot. They were on a Saturday night, they were studying. So now they're seeing the fruits of their boundaries. They're seeing the fruits of what they're doing. So listen, if you don't learn anything else, boundaries are our friend, and we need to learn the importance of developing boundaries because we need them. And too many of us are sitting here just like orphans, and how you call it, like a highway, and folks are coming in and out like a revolving door. The subway Jones, the revolving door, folks going in and out. Where are the boundaries? Where's no. We could exchange them, but I ain't talking to you every day. We're not going out. You're not coming to my crib. I ain't gonna show you where I work. No. That's crazy. So boundaries are our friend, and I want us to learn the importance of boundaries. And I pray that this blessed you, man.